Hi, Mike here again with another video about how to use styles in Microsoft Word to control spell checking. In this case, I'm going to show you how to use styles to just disable spell check for certain text in your document. As a reminder, I'm using Windows and Word 2013, but uh, everything that I say should apply in the version of Word that you're working with, even if the gestures and the UI are a little bit different. So this document is typical of the kind of work I often do. It involves programming code. So programming code has a lot of keywords in it, has a lot of funky file names and things that, as you can see here, spell check is just not going to like. These are all legitimate things, like webmail, app start, CSH. These are all legitimate from my context, but I just want spell check to ignore them because in a really long document it can take forever to get through spell check on stuff like this. Now, it's possible I could add these to a custom dictionary, but there's just too many of them, and every document presents new ones. So the better choice for me is to style these with a style that then also causes spell check to skip them. Let me show you how to do that. I'm going to start by creating a style called code for keywords. I'm going to make this a character style because I'm going to apply it to individual words in a paragraph. So it's a character style. I mean, it's code, so I'm going to give it some sort of code styling. It's got a monospace font, and for our purposes, I'll make it green so we can see what's going on. So that's the formatting aspect. When I apply code, it'll have these formatting characteristics. The important point for us is that I can choose a format option for language. I can go ahead and choose a language, and then I can choose this option that says do not check spelling or grammar. So the end effect is that when I apply the style called code, to any text in there, spell check will just skip right over it. Let me show you. Okay, so create a new style. I'll select webmail as one of the keywords and I'll apply the code style to it. So it turns out monospace green, but the red squigglies are also gone because now spell check is just skipping it. Let me do the same thing for some of the other keywords here. Okay, so all the keywords have been styled as code, so they have a particular look, but they also have no more spell check. Now I could do that with this file name, but to show you some variation, I'm going to create a separate style for this. File name, character, and I'm going to make it italic and blue instead of green and monospace. But again, I'm going to choose the option to disable spell check by choosing the language and then choosing do not check spelling or grammar. Okay, I have a new style called file name, again, character style. Oh, I do not want it there. Make that guy normal. But I do want it here. All right. File name, apply that. Okay. And the red squigglies went away. Now, I guess I should point out that if you apply a style in which spell check has been disabled, of course it'll be up to you to check the spelling of those words because spell check's just going to skip them. All right, so here's a slightly different chunk of code. This is a big, all of this belongs together as one chunk. Now I could use the style called code and just select it all and apply it, but I have other formatting requirements here. So let me show you that. I'm going to create a paragraph style this time. I'm going to call it pre, that's an HTML keyword, and then I'll make some different styling choices. I will make it consolus and 10, so it's going to be monospace. But I'm also going to set some paragraph styles. So paragraph, I'll make it a 6-point spacing, single space 6-point, and I'll set some shading. It's actually quite typical for programming code in a document, in documentation, to have some sort of a shading behind it. Okay, so there's the formatting aspects of this pre-paragraph style. And the last thing we want to do, as before, is to set the language option to disable check spelling and grammar check. All right, so choose that. I'm going to apply this paragraph style to all of these paragraphs. Each of these lines is one paragraph. I'll apply pre. Here we go. Now you still see some squigglies, true, but let me run spell check again. I'll hit F7, and now spell check is complete, and it's all happy. So I've got 3 different styles here in which spell checking has been disabled. I'm using for 3 different purposes: inline code keywords, inline file names, and then blocks of code. All have different styles, but in all cases, spell check has been disabled. So there's other uses for this. I use it with programming code. I can't off the top of my head think of where you might use it, but anytime you need to be able to disable spell check via style, that's how you do it. Thanks.